Hey guys, I have some repots to do today and an exciting update to share. So let's do both at the same time. My name is Clara. I'm a crazy plant person. I know. We moved semi recently and all my plants have been out on the screened in porch for a little while. But stay tuned because I have an update to share with you regarding all of that. I do want to get started with the repotting process because I don't want to be here all day. And if I let myself, I'll just talk the whole time and not get any work done. So we're actually going to set this Anthurium aside. We're going to work on 2 monstera first because they're way more simple and straightforward. We'll start with my beautiful large form monstera. It was supposed to be albo, you guys, but it started giving me green variegation instead. Either way, still figuring that one out, but it is in need of a little bit more leca up on top. And also I see a tiny, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter which way I turn it, you can't see me. There's like a tiny bit of rot that I see here, and I honestly need to decide because I'm also having brand new root growth as well. Do I disturb this to try to remove the rot? Or is it stable enough and should it just be left alone? Honestly, I think I'm gonna disturb it because I just gotta know, and I just gotta make sure the rot isn't still spreading. I had somebody comment recently about my monstera substrate, and I see you, I hear you, and I'm so happy that you're having success in different media. But I've just always grown monstera in leca, and they've just always been really happy. And I'm just gonna keep growing in leca. I know that there's a touch of rot there, and of course nobody likes that, but plants are so resilient, and you know that in the wild sometimes they get root rot in their ideal environment, and the plants themselves will get over it. So let's just dump this out. Okay, this is as I had hoped and as I had suspected. The rot here is just at the very tip of this aerial root, and it stopped on its own. So all I'm gonna do is just trim off that section. And I'm done. I'm not gonna do anything else. I don't want this plant that disturbed. We don't have that much root to work with, but with the new aerial root coming in, it's gonna look a lot better once we get more root development. So I'm just gently setting it back in the pot. I don't wanna disturb anything else. And I'll replace this leca and add a little bit more in. You guys truly cannot, So, it should come to no surprise to you that this update is about the greenhouse. If you've been watching my channel for long, or even just recently, I've talked a lot about this greenhouse idea that I've had. In our last home, we had a screened-in porch, much like this one, quite a bit smaller, and we converted it to an enclosed porch by replacing the screen sections with windows, and it worked really well. It was a great setup, but the plants took over the whole room, and nobody else in my family was able to enjoy having a screened-in porch. So when we moved here into our new home, there was some discussion of converting this porch into another enclosed porch where the plants could permanently live, but we opted away from that option because, I don't know, it's nice to have a screened-in porch. And so pretty much from day one, I've been talking to you guys about the goal I had to build a greenhouse. And I'm happy to say, I don't know, it's just one piece of news. Maybe it's 2 pieces of news, but I kind of want to drag it on. We need to do something about this monstera white monster. A good update is that I think I see development here in the petiole. I think it's working on a new leaf. I just want to see if I can pot it a little bit lower so that the rest of this is buried before it gets any farther with developing its new leaf. So again, this is another one of the simpler repots. I'm gonna be dumping everything out. You can't really see what I'm doing. I don't know why I angled it that way. Just dumping everything out, and when the roots are water roots, like this beautiful white one right here, they're pretty flexible. So I'm gonna see if it can bend a little bit. I'm not gonna go for a bigger cup because I don't have enough root to justify a bigger cup. I just wanna see if I can like get it lower. Look at that. She's been working so hard on that little root. So the first problem was figuring out, sure, I could put up a greenhouse here in the Raleigh area of North Carolina, but would my plants survive? Because these are not the tropics, but my plants are tropical plants. And what would happen, say, if wintertime came and temperatures outdoors were, I don't know, 20 degrees and we had snow falling? Sure, my plants would be in a greenhouse, but could I, in theory, keep that greenhouse warm enough? Then switch to summer. In summer, I don't think the monstera in my collection would mind 90-degree temperatures, but the Anthurium certainly would. Could I keep the greenhouse cool enough? We also had to figure out where on the property to put the greenhouse. Do we want full sun? Do we want partial shade? How much shade? There was a lot of troubleshooting to figure out. What I landed on was, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go all out and I'm gonna buy a mini split as well. If I'm going to be putting up a greenhouse, let's air condition the thing. Let's get heat and air conditioning year round. I mean, greenhouses aren't huge, depending on what you get. I was looking at models that were ranging from 80 square feet to 150 square feet, which is really nice, great size for me and my collection, but that's not hard to keep cool if you have a mini split unit. So I picked out a greenhouse that I liked. I did some math, talked to ChatGPT about keeping the thing heated and cooled, picked out a mini split that I liked. There were also a few other things I wanted to get, like a misting system to help keep temperatures low. And so I started saving up. I had my numbers, I had my goal, and I started selling cuttings, selling plants like a mad woman. One of my recent videos was how to propagate Anthurium for cash, because I really wanted to generate some profits so that I could fund this greenhouse project. And that video went really well. I think out of the cuttings I took in that particular video, I made over $700. So that was a huge leap. And I did some other selling. It's been a couple months, but just slowly, steadily selling plants or propagations with my goal in mind. And so the first announcement I have is that I was able to order everything just last week. Of course, shelving I already have. I already had a lot of other things that are going to go into the greenhouse. And then the only other thing hasn't been purchased yet is all the concrete for the foundation, but I do have the money for it set aside. So I'm just really happy to share that. Like, the things are coming, they're on their way. I think they're going to be here next week. And the only other thing we were waiting for, and honestly, this is such a coincidence, I'm not making this up. I was going to share the news with you today anyways, that the greenhouse was ordered. And I was just going to tell you, we just got to wait for the HOA approval. But literally an hour ago, I got the news that the HOA did approve the build. I was pretty sure that they would. In our new neighborhood, they seem pretty chill, but it was still something we did have to wait for. But as of today, we've got HOA approval. So the only thing standing in the way of beginning the greenhouse build is the yard work I still need to do to clear out the area. But you guys, so thrilled. So please do subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're interested in seeing how to build a greenhouse for tropical aeroids, I feel like so many of us grow our plants indoors because that's like the only option. I mean, raise your hand if you live in Ecuador. That would be nice for the plants anyways. but we don't. And so we kind of have to grow them indoors, which is cool until it's not, until your collection is too big, until you have small kids that knock them down. And so having a dedicated space for the plants has always been important to me, but I've always had this dream, one day I'll have an actual greenhouse. And I'm just really excited that the greenhouse is coming, and we are in a little bit of a time crunch. I don't think I've talked about it all that much just because it's more of a private life kind of update, but I'm having a baby in like 3 months. And so definitely need the greenhouse to be done before the baby is born, because I've done it twice already. I know what things are like the first couple months with a newborn. These things are going to endure a lot of neglect at the beginning of September. And once they have their established greenhouse and it's done and it's running and, you know, it's kept at the right temperature, and I think the misting system will help me with watering too. I think everything will be okay during this next transition of my life. And then I'm so excited just moving forward after that to have a space to grow these plants, appreciate them, film more content for you guys. So that's pretty much the update. I am unbelievably excited. Let's pot up. We do need to repot this. Literally, this leaf is massive. This is my dock block by Luxuriance, currently flowering. On a whim, I've slapped some pollen on here from, I'm pretty sure it was my Novelty G Ace of Spades by Indo Portillier. You can see it, it's that one, kind of triangular shaped. I'm pretty sure it was that one, but I did create a sticker and the sticker fell off, but I'm sure it's on the shelf. Anyways, pollination took, actually. The pollination was successful, so we're going to be really gentle with her today. We're not taking any cuttings. We're going to try not to disturb the root system. Let me show you the roots. She is in leca. I know. Come for me, guys. Come for me. She's in leca because when I started growing Anthurium, I grew everything in leca, and she's been happy. So I haven't wanted to mess with her, even though nowadays most of the Anthurium I grow are in a moss mixture. Anyways, she's happy in leca, so she's going to stay in leca. I'm not going to disturb this root system at all. I'm just going to be plopping it into a slightly larger container. And so let me just remove some of these sheaths here. I don't know, it's like pimple popping, but for plant people. You just remove the sheaths. So satisfying. The root mass, I'll say, although it's, you know, definitely established, it's well rooted into this leca, happy enough to flower. It's not as many roots as I would have thought this plant would want to have. So I believe that once I pot it up and this portion is also under substrate, I hope that that will help too. So coming up for you guys, I don't have like a distinct timeline yet. I thought about doing the greenhouse build in segments for you, in sections. I don't really think that would be satisfying for anybody. Like, who wants to watch an entire video where all I accomplish is pour concrete? I do think I will be doing the entire greenhouse in one video. It might be a long one, but I don't know how long that whole process is going to take. So I really don't know how long it's going to be before you actually see a greenhouse. She in there. She in there good. Stuck to the plastic. I'm not opposed to destroying this pot. I can just usually pull them out though. Oof. Guys, this is kind of making me nervous. Oh, we've got some give. It's coming. There it is. Okay. And hopefully no root damage has incurred. We're just gonna plop it in and fill it in. Okay, I think she's done. I think it'll be really happy here in this new pot. Gonna give it a good watering and then call it a day, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm very excited about what's in store, but as I was saying, I'm just gonna do it all in one go, and so I don't know how long it's gonna be before you actually see the greenhouse, but don't worry, you still have some great content coming up. So thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and give this video a like or a subscribe if you're feeling extra generous today. And any questions, comments, you know where to go with those. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.